Hey y'all, it's Lindsay.
Hey, and I'm Chase, and welcome to the Attained State of Mind podcast. We value the humanistic ability not only to change one's body through health and fitness, but also reaching new heights in mental and spiritual growth.
So if you have questions on how to improve your well-being in all walks of life and attain your goals and dreams, this is the podcast for you. So this is the Attained State of Mind podcast, and we hope you enjoy.
And we're rolling.
Here we are. It's our first Attained State of Mind podcast.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, we don't know what we're doing.
No, this is our first time. We're sitting here in our wellness room. May or may not have wine in my coffee cup. You'll never know. But I'm just letting you know it is. It's wine.
But welcome.
Yeah.
So this is the very first episode of Attained State of Mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I'm Chase for people that don't know who I am.
Yeah, I'm Lindsay. We are the owners of Attained State of Mind, LLC.
Yeah, Attained Athletics.
Or Attained Athletics, sorry. And we just decided, you know what? Let's do a podcast. Let's talk about it.
I think it's a good idea.
I like to talk.
Yeah, so let's go over, our story. Where did we begin to even learn about each other?
You and I have such different versions of this, I think.
That's okay.
Yeah. We met our first day of our freshman year of college. Chase and I were friends for 3 years before we even started dating. And I always knew that he was a long-term kind of guy. And of course I'm 17, not trying to have that, not any part of that. And he just kept pursuing, and he just was the biggest gentleman ever. We went to dinner that first
persistent
night. Yeah. That first legit night, and he was eating a sub sandwich with a fork and knife. And I was like, you're so weird, what are you doing? And of course I'm over here just all over my body. And then that was the rest is history. And now you don't even use a plate, you just use a food skill for your plate.
I bet you wish sometimes that I was still that guy.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Well, he's never coming back.
No, he's not. I know that. But yeah, no, we started dating, and we knew quickly that I loved him a lot. And so we got engaged 8 months after we started dating. So yeah, that's my version of.
No, I think that was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
But that's just how we met.
Yeah.
And then, we got into the whole marriage deal.
Yeah.
We moved a little bit. Now we settled down in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
And I guess really our story when it comes to our fitness journey, that's what really this whole thing is about, mainly because, Attained Athletics was born as a health and fitness company. It's more of we like to call it a lifestyle company, because we do touch into some different areas because we want to focus mainly on becoming a better version of ourselves in every aspect of life. And health and fitness is just really what, kind of what we're centrally focused on. But yeah, let's get into our fitness journey.
So my dad, I'm from Elba, small town. My dad opened up a gym in his garage in the 80s. He was a JV football coach for Elba, and they had nowhere to work out. So he opened it up in their garage, and my mom was like, what is this? And then a bunch of dudes started coming over, and he was like, hey, let's get something going. So he opened up a little gym downtown, and of course Elba flooded all the time. So got flooded. And then he bought the building that it's in now of what is the gym. And it's the most OG, 1990s, 2000s, steel plates gym. But it's so cool to grow up in that environment. And for me personally, I kind of ran it when I was in high school. That was my co-op job. So I was constantly in it and around it, but never took it seriously. I pitched. Obviously, I was a competitive softball player, so I didn't really have to, go into the gym and be a crazy person about it at the time. Not until college anyway. And so I went to college. Obviously, I wasn't playing ball anymore, and quickly, I think, gained 10 pounds. Of course, freshman 10, right? That's what they call it.
Freshman 15.
Freshman 15, yeah.
You were lucky.
It was 10 for me or so. It's always been plus or minus 10 pounds. That's what I was going to say, is I've never been over or under 10 pounds or so about what my body weight is. And so it was either I was 10 over, or then I'd go through, main thing for me was CrossFit. CrossFit got big when I was about a sophomore. So I joined literally the smallest, like 3-person CrossFit startup and lost 10 pounds again. And that's about the time that Chase and I started dating, is when that happened. And then we would start working out together at night and everything. And I was through nursing school. But again, I was always in a gym. I've always had a membership, always around it, but never was like all in until Chase went all in January of 18. And he can kind of tell you about that.
Yeah, and I was completely like 180 from you.
Yeah.
You were like a plus and minus 10 pounds, and I was not that.
No.
I was on two completely different ends of the spectrum. And
Yeah.
I was an athlete all through college. Like I played,
High school.
or yeah, through high school
Yeah.
and played every sport that was really offered.
Yeah.
Then when I get to college, I wasn't that anymore.
No. Okay. Full disclaimer. I met Chase probably at, probably the same weight that you are now. Obviously, your body comp's totally different, but you're probably the same weight
That's probably true.
you are now. And then, of course, we go through rushing. We were both in fraternity and sororities, and I'll let you take that part.
And I didn't understand what being on my own was about,
Yeah.
I guess.
No.
And just went off the rails. I mean, and it probably came down to like I was extremely busy with rushing a fraternity and stuff, and I just ate fast food for every single
Late
meal.
at night.
Yeah, and a lot. I've always had a big appetite, but when you have a big appetite and you eat really crappy stuff,
Yeah.
that really turns against you extremely fast. So, I mean, there was a point where I gained in a large amount of weight, and
You should
I
tell
was
people.
around 240
Yeah,
pounds.
at 5'8"ish.
Yeah, at 5'7",
5'7"
5'8".
and
So
5'8".
really on a small frame, there's only so much
Well, and you,
room for fat to go.
yeah, and you probably came in at like what, 180 at the most. At the
Yeah,
most.
I mean, in high school, I mean, I
Maybe
probably
even
was
less.
like 175,
Yeah.
180.
And let's just throw this out there. That was in a span of, I'm not even kidding, I may be exaggerating, but like 4 months. From August to
Yeah,
December.
maybe 4 to 6 months or something like that. It was rapid.
It was rapid. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was a heavy lad. But
Yeah.
then, like, I was really heavy, but, I lost a lot of weight, but I did it by the wrong means. I really just kind of stopped eating
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
moving a lot more and ended up, like, losing all the weight, and I was just
Like in a
skinny.
summer, like in 2 months,
Yeah, I
3
was-
months, because of being a waiter and like
But-
working beach service.
But I still, like, didn't take training seriously.
No.
And I was honestly barely in the gym, like, didn't know what I was doing. So at that point, I was just, like, kind of skinny fat. I mean, had
You were
no-
yo-yoing. I mean,
yeah, no
literally.
muscle definition.
No. Whenever, and that was another thing too, is we weren't dating at the time that he had gained the weight. We were obviously we were friends. But then he lost all of that weight again that summer. He came back to college, and it was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? He lost like 70 pounds. And again, like he said, he was a waiter,
An accident too.
worked late nights and things like that. But even after we started dating and I got into CrossFit, I mean, of course, I got skinnier. I lost 10 pounds, I think. You got really, really skinny, but like it wasn't skinny,
It
like
wasn't a good skinny.
lean. No, you were like skinny. And so, again, that kind of carried with us. We got married that like following February. And, you were traveling at the time for Fastenal. You were on the road all the time. You took your food with you, but it wasn't meal prep stuff. It was like sandwiches and, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, and it was when I bought this online plan, which I'm sure a lot of people have done.
Yeah.
And it was just like eat salmon and chickpeas and
Oh my God.
salads and
The chickpea diet. Do not
We-
do the chickpea diet.
we fell into this like, oh, look at this guy's transformation in 60 days.
Oh my
He went
God.
from bloated to ripped, and I'm like,
He was
ooh.
bloated because he had the chickpeas. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
right.
talk about that. So yeah. Anyway, we were getting married, and it was the day I tried on my wedding dress. The day after he proposed to me, I was at that wedding store getting my dress. I wasn't waiting. But I was right in the middle of CrossFit and us working summer jobs, and we were at our best figure, And then here comes November, and I had to try my dress on, and it didn't fit. Like I was 10 pounds heavier than I was then. It did not fit. So I had to do something. And of course, he was traveling, and I was like, I got to fit in this dress. So of course I was not eating at all, hardly at all. I was doing a ton of cardio at night after work. I mean, I lost like the 15 pounds and stuff, but it wasn't healthy. And at the time you weren't really in the gym. So anyway, we got married, moved to Richmond, and he and I would like mess around in the gym. Like I'd go to spin class I loved spin. I'd go to spin class and we'd lift, but never anything serious.
Nothing structured.
No. And that was 2 years in Richmond that we did that.
Yeah, so I mean, basically all of that to say is, I mean, we have been trying to do something physical to like, we buy into the fads and we try to change our bodies and all this stuff, and it just doesn't work because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just buying into the hype from, what we see ads of, things that work. So it really came down to, and then when I was in Richmond, I gained a lot of weight again.
Yeah.
Just because I, eating things I wasn't supposed to, and
We loved Blaze Pizza and Chipotle. Oh, we did Whole30 there.
we've done every
We did all the
single
things.
diet under
Yeah.
the sun. Whole30, keto, paleo,
Yeah.
like
Nothing.
everything. None of
Bought
that's
that
fun.
paleo cookbook. Remember that summer at the beach?
Mhm.
Literally, we're not kidding when we say that we've done every single thing possible. Not like
Except for hard
strictly,
work.
except for hard work. We followed it loosely. So anyway, all that to say, we closed on our house in December of 2017, our first home. And we were living with Chase's parents from August to December of 17 while our house was being built. And there was a gym up the street, Anytime Fitness here in where we live. And he and I started going. And even then we were on the way, we were talking about it earlier, we would go work out and like on the weekends.
No idea what we were
No.
doing.
No, none. And then on the weekends after we'd work out Saturday, like brunchish, we would go straight to Chinese restaurant.
And just
Every
negate
Saturday.
all of the
Yeah.
whatever we just
Completely just make ourselves sick. So anyway, but that was really a pivotal point for you, and you can talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I really like to say when it comes to anybody that gets like all in into health and fitness, it really comes from like two separate avenues. Either you were born with incredibly good genetics and you picked up on weightlifting and being an athlete really early in your life, and then it just came about like, hey, I'm good at this, I'm going to keep at it. Or you just get to a place where you're so sick and tired of being sick and tired of trying hundreds and thousands of things and spending all of this money on programs and food that goes to waste, and it's just like you're just tired of not seeing the results. Like everybody wants to look how they want to look, but not a lot of people understand how to get there.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand either. He and I were talking about this earlier in the car. Chase started this all in January of 2018, and that's been like what 3 to 4 years now that you've been doing this.
Yeah, and it was exactly that. It was just like, man, like I've tried everything. Like, what am I doing wrong? So it literally just got down to me being so tired of like not looking the way that I want to. And just like a little backstory, I have been always self-conscious since I was in high school.
Yes.
Like not even, I wasn't a big kid in high school. I was a pretty athletic guy, but I was always like sitting with my arms crossed because I was so like self-conscious
pulling your
about
shirt.
Yeah, like anybody seeing like rolls in my stomach or anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't even like fat, so I've always had like body kind of issues.
Even now, like you're still sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like you have got to look in the mirror at yourself and realize what you look like. Our first date, actually, after we went to eat that sub sandwich, we were sitting on a couch together and he kept pulling his shirt and like hunching his shoulders over. And he was really skinny at this point because you just come
That's
off
so weird.
off of summer. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you, I mean, I'm like over here, thick and living my best life. And I'm like, what's up? I don't know. It's just so funny. I don't think people realize, we always focus on women having all these, comparison issues or like body issues, but like it's very real in the male world.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't help that like all of my friends, like I was always hanging out with people that were
Skinny,
like, yeah,
tall,
skinny or like in good shape and
not even in good shape, just tall and skinny. None of them
like,
had any at all. Like all three of your roommates, Austin, Mitchell, and Parker, all tall and skinny.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I was just like tired of being self-conscious about my body and like not like wanting to go to the pool and take my shirt off, like missing out on a lot of like social activities that I would love to have been a part of, but I was just so, I just didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't want to take my shirt off like ever.
No. And well, you
even
said
around you
no
for,
around
like,
me
a long time.
Yeah, it was weird.
It would like lights gotta go off, honey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's too much. But we were talking about earlier, he and I we went and did a drop in at a gym in town. And like even just talking about our journey, like you just can't, like, it was awful walking into a gym and feeling out of place. Like,
And
not
having
knowing
no
how to
idea what
work
to
a
do.
machine, or like feeling uncomfortable, and all these dudes around you, or women, or whatever, just busting out a workout and being comfortable in that. And I think and, of course we said earlier, like, Eric really, really, was
It
a
was a massive influence.
yeah, massive influence for you. Shout out Eric, Rachel. But anyway, you can just say, so you went all in January of 18.
Yeah, man, it really just came down to like figuring out what worked. And YouTube has just like became like a big part in that area of time. And then I would just like Google, well, the guy that we were just talking about, Eric, was like, you need to, track your macros. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? So
Yeah.
I would just like YouTube it, and then I would come across these guys who were, big fitness influencers, like before that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Like they were like, the fitness influencer on YouTube was actually extremely new that long ago. So I figured out, I was looking at these people's like full day of eating, how to track calories, how to track macros, like what were these people doing that were extremely successful in this area, and then just kind of mimicked that. Like just did a lot of research, read a lot, watched a lot of videos, and just learned all of this stuff, and then fell in love with it. And that's really kind of like my personality. Like if I
Yeah.
do something, I am all in. I
I was
don't
about to
do
say,
anything like, just I don't ever dip my toe in the
hence
water.
this room, Chase, in our garage gym, especially. Like, once Chase gets an idea in his mind, he is obsessive, and it's OCD. He's obsessive over that idea until it comes to fruition. Like, he has a vision, and it's gonna be executed flawlessly.
And that's why I love this podcast so much, because like all these things are firing in my brain. Like
Yeah.
think of like, just try something. It could turn into a passion. Then it can be your dream. And then
Yeah.
now we're sitting in our wellness room
Yeah.
doing a podcast
Yeah,
because like we decided to get in shape one day. Like that's
crazy.
crazy. We have our own personal training business. It just still blows my mind.
It's wild. Thriving, by the way. It's doing great. But he went all in January of 18, and I'm not even kidding you. By May of that year, I mean, you just like dug your heels in, and like, I tell people all the time, it's like a flip switched in his brain, and it truly was in his life. But that happened, and he didn't skip a plan, a meal, a workout, anything for, I mean, not even kidding, 6 months. I don't even think that, and that's why Chase and I are homebodies. We don't go do anything. We don't hardly go eat out. It's very planned. And that all started then. Prior to that, we would just go eat. Yeah, let's go eat Mexican or whatever. Now it's very calculated, because it's just how our life is now.
Yeah, and like we learned like how to eat the things that we love. Like we learned how to do flexible dieting.
Flexible
We learned
dieting.
we learned how to train appropriately and optimally. And really that like just flipped a switch, because I'm like, dang man, if we would have known how to do this 8 years ago, think
Hmm.
about how much progress we could have made. And really that was like the root of the idea of behind Attained Athletics. We were like, man, I know like everybody wants to look good with their
Yeah.
shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm like, if we could help people.
Skip wasting their time.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if it took us, 10 years since we were in college to finally figure out what's going on and how to accurately do this,
Hmm.
like if we can cut down somebody making the same mistakes and going through all that hardship and cut down that time drastically, like why
Yeah.
would we not want to help people do that?
Yeah. He, especially though, like, he, has done the cuts, done the bulk, like, you've really like dug all in. I am more of like a,
More of a
lifestyle
Yeah.
kind of person for sure. But like, we
Which
started,
is what all of our clients are.
yeah,
too.
everybody's lifestyle. We don't prep anybody, but, we started our gym with like, I remember looking at pictures the other day, one, barbell
Yeah, and a couple plates.
and a couple plates, and like my car was behind it in a freezer. And now it's a full blown functioning gym. It's I mean, it's crazy. And that, just all that to say too, guys, like, you follow us on Instagram, or you can see Chase's transformations. Like, he did all of that in our garage gym. Like, not a single weight was lifted outside of that gym for him to get to that point.
Follow your dreams, guys.
Yeah, go follow your dreams. Which is amazing, honestly. Like, we were in a garage gym fitness community, and the ability to make that kind of gains and progress in a garage gym is just like nuts. All that to say, extreme hard work. Like, again, I'm not kidding when I say this dude is like, get something in his mind and he's going to hit that goal and it's going to happen. And he doesn't let, like, we built the garage gym and everything to do with our home around family. Like he and I share this hobby together. We are able to incorporate that with our son. You know, Brooks is able to come out and be in the gym with us, and it's just all about family time for us. But I'll come home after a long day at work. I'm working 12-hour shifts, and he will have already worked all day at his job, been mommy and daddy to Brooks, put him to bed, and he'll be on that stair stepper when I get home. It's 8 o'clock at night and hammering it out and loving every minute. Like he's smiling. And I'm like, why?
You fall in love with the struggle.
Why are you smiling?
And like,
and you're sweating. It's miserable.
and all of our clients kind of know this, but like, you know, we call like what we did when we were finally starting to figure this fitness thing out. Like that was the knowledge phase. We were really starting to learn and grow, and then you transition into the accomplishments phase.
Yeah.
Whenever you hit that phase, like those results start to get addicting, and then you just can't help but smile because like you're finally figuring it out.
Yeah.
And your body's starting to look the way that you want it to. And it's just such a cool process.
Yeah. So all that to say, it snowballed into Chase and I took off my whole pregnancy from January 19 to September 19. I didn't work out. I mean, I like lived my best life. Pizza is my favorite food. I ate pizza all the time. I ate McDonald's every morning. Chase would be like, you need to go walk or you want to come out here and work out? And I'm like, no, it's 100 degrees. No, I'd cut the grass. So postpartum for me was a struggle. I mean, I probably gained 20 pounds of food fat, honestly. And I was shocked by that. I thought it was all just going to come off. Like I thought I was going to be fine in like 2 weeks. Was not fine. So breastfed for 5 months. You got to keep your calories at, at minimum 1,800 at minimum to 2,000, was back working, did not have any weight loss. And then not until this past January did I like go all in again with Chase really coaching me. And then now it's July and I'm, back in better shape than I was before I even got pregnant. So, but yeah, all that to say, Chase and I started getting questions. More so Chase would get people, hey, help me with this, help me with that. Like, what do you think about this? And then I don't cook at all. So Chase would make us macro-friendly stuff. I'd be craving, like a Pop-Tart. That's when we really started doing these recipes. It was like back at our other house. I'd be like, oh my God, I want a Pop-Tart so bad. And he'd go in there in the kitchen and just make it up. And it's macro-friendly, full of protein, and it tastes freaking good. So that kind of snowballed into the recipe book.
Yeah, it really started with the recipe book. And that was actually at the time where I was getting my PT certification and all that. And then really like what birthed Attained Athletics was when I just got this idea in my head. It was like, what can we offer people that isn't, really offered that much? And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. Lindsay's been living with me through all of this for like so long. She understands everything that I know. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I came to her one day with the biggest smile on my face and was just like so hyped up, pacing around the gym and said, hey, I want you to do this with me. And she said, what do you mean? I'm like, I want us to go into business together. Like, I want you to get your certification. And it really came down to like, Lindsay is, for people that don't know, she is a nurse practitioner, director of clinical services at her job. She's a professional, like, person in the medical field. Mm-hmm. So being able to offer that to clients and be able to, like, understand
medical background of weight loss.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really a cool like combination. Like,
I mean, we had a client
adding that on
the other day, just for an example, that's like, hey, like, I'm experiencing acne, I have fatigue, all these different signals, and then we were just like, yeah, this is probably it. You need to go see your OBGYN about this, blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
yeah, as soon as I read the message, I called Chase. I was like, PCOS.
Yeah, being able to pinpoint that kind of stuff is like extremely beneficial when it, like, because dieting and weight loss, there's so much that comes into it that just a calorie deficit, just like energy expenditure sometimes doesn't cut it. So
glycemic index, thyroid, I mean, all the things that we
I love that we
talk
can
about.
offer that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we've had some local people that have actually been able to come to me, and we're able to do a full workup like that. So it's really cool to be able to see that and not just be like, hey, you might want to like talk to your GP about this. It's like, no, I am your GP. Like, let's do both.
And that's why we call it a lifestyle company. Yeah. Because, it goes so much beyond health and fitness. Like, I mean, we have clients that are getting off blood pressure medication, that are pre-diabetic, that are going away from, those negative health aspects. And
Yeah,
you know,
it's a huge deal for me. I love talking about this. It's going to be in a
it gets me
podcast to
hyped.
come. If we have a podcast title just specifically on the medical reasoning for, being healthy, like
Hmm.
obesity causing literally all of these chronic medical conditions that are 100% reversible by diet and exercise.
Yeah. And
Um,
even like psychological benefits, like
oh,
being understanding being
mental health.
healthy. Yeah, mental health is crazy. Like
Yeah,
stress, anxiety, depression, all
all
of
the
that kind of
things.
stuff. And
Yeah,
that's what we work with our clients with. Like
yeah,
we are very focused on biofeedback. How are you feeling?
yeah.
All that plays a big part into,
Who we
losing
are.
weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who we are as a company.
It's so different too. It's like, we have clients that recently that we do these biofeedbacks, wellness checks once a week on our weekly check-ins. And she was like, you guys, this is like in the first 2 weeks of it. And she was like, you guys have given me more in 2 weeks than I've ever gotten with any other coach ever. Like the full longevity of her coaching, you know, and like that's our goal. We want to be able to give our clients all of this knowledge that we have because we want you guys to be able to attain what we have. So that's how this has come about. And we, with this too, like originally a podcast really wasn't like on our books or whatever, but we realized like quickly into launching our business and how well it's gone and how much knowledge our clients, love for us to share and do Chase does an Attain Talk segment with our business that he does topics on his whiteboard and throws up that this is super beneficial. And like he and I we love to do this. Like he and I talk like this in the car driving back and forth from home and stuff. So we realized, hey, let's do a podcast because like this is gonna go to the moon
I know.
like Doge.
Yeah, and that's why I love the podcast so much. And a lot of people have heard me say this, but I'm a huge quote guy. So
Yeah.
on this
No, get
podcast,
ready.
you're going to be hearing them. But
He's a stories guy.
it's a Pablo Picasso said it.
Oh,
It's
God.
like the reason for life is to find your purpose, and then the purpose in life is to give that away, or the reason in life is to find your gift, and the purpose in life is to give that away. This podcast kind of is really a way for us to do that.
Yeah.
A way that not only our clients can get some knowledge out of us, and that this podcast is going to touch so many different segments, not just health and fitness. I mean, we're going to go into
Marriage,
yeah,
like we have marriage topics,
relationships,
yeah, and
all sorts of stuff.
this talking about like this the spouse side of being on the spouse side of prep and like things like that. And
Very soon.
yeah, but again too, I was going to say, like, piggybacking on that, like we're here to serve others. It's biblical. We were put on this earth and we get our gratification from serving others. That was literally at church on Sunday. So that's our goal. That's what we're here to do, is we're trying to help you guys, and we want to give you our knowledge. And we ultimately want you to be able to make this your lifestyle and, put this into your lives and, I don't know,
Yeah.
have some
Well,
good with it.
and that's who we are, our story,
Yeah.
our fitness journey, how Attained Athletics really got to be what it is today. And really
Yep.
what we want to do at the end of these episodes is do kind of a Q&A. So
Oh, Lord, the dog.
he's okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like we got a couple questions from our clients. We're going
Yes.
to open this up to the public once we get all the ins and outs of the podcast, put out into the open
Yeah.
on platforms and things. But
Yep.
the first thing was about having to do with our cookbook. What's our favorite
Yeah.
quick recipe that we just like our go-to?
Yeah. Shout out to Haley, one of our clients. She said, what's your fastest favorite recipe from your cookbook that we like to eat? So for me, I eat the burger crunch wrap every single night. Turkey burger, sometimes deer meat, whatever. But literally turkey burger, lettuce, ketchup, mayo, mustard, lavish red, wrapped up, air fry it with some sweet potato fries, and it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, Burger King meets Taco Bell.
I mean, it's amazing. I'm not even kidding you. It's so good. And I put my friend Betsy on it, and she was like, Linz, this is amazing. So best for me is that one. And it's mom friendly. You can feed your baby while your burger's frying. So there you go.
No, mine is what made the cookbook what it is. Like the first recipe that I made every single day for so long.
Oh, Yeah.
Protein French toast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first recipe in the book. It's my favorite. That, or just if we're talking about just simplicity and something quick,
Mm-hmm.
just protein yogurt. I mean, all it is protein powder and some Greek yogurt, and then mix it up. It's
Yeah, but don't downplay it. If you put it in the fridge or the freezer and you
also
let it sit,
icing.
it's icing. I told
So
Betsy
good.
that. It's like icing. So those are our two. And then okay, this is a fun one. Um, I don't really know if if you have a superpower like for you, or is it something you want?
No, it's just like, what's a superpower that you have in your daily life?
I mean, I guess multitasking. I don't know.
Well, you said that you can like hop out of bed and
No, I
then
was
get
saying
ready.
no. I was saying like I wish that could be me. Like
Oh,
I,
that's
I
something
want
you
that.
want.
No, I don't do that. That's the thing is my odd superpower is that I truly don't care what I look like when I leave the house. Whereas
There you go.
Chase will literally be like so cute and like we went to Lowe's that one time and I looked terrible and Chase was like so cute and I'm like okay this is a problem.
Well, I feel like it's a lot easier for dudes to like just throw something on and
Yeah, but you look chic,
acceptable.
like athleisure. I mean, I was literally wearing a Patagonia. It was bad, y'all. It was bad. So if I could pick one, it would be that I could get out of bed and be full glam in 5 minutes. The part of me that is
Well, I want that too.
the problem with that is that I truly don't care, and I go to work and go out looking how I look, and I'm fine with it. So there's that.
Mm. I looked at it as in like, or this question: what is a superpower that you like have in your daily life?
Mm.
And mine was like, I can learn how to do things in a very small amount of time.
Yeah,
Like when it comes to learning how to build something,
techie.
or like putting a podcast together,
Yeah,
or running a wire
or
through a
through a
wall.
wall.
And I think it comes from a place where like I don't care if I mess up. Like if I have a hole in the wall, it just kind of happened. I'll learn how to fix it at that
Yeah.
point. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Chase is
just
like
learned
again,
things.
he's OCD. Okay, let's just put that out there.
Yeah, that helps.
So he's obsessive over again. It has to be done. If he gets in his head, it's got to be done. So when we start talking about the podcast, I'm not even kidding you. Within 5 minutes, all this equipment's in the cart on Amazon. Like add to cart.
It's just research. Like, what's the best
Oh god,
like audio
literally.
inverter? What are the best
I mean, me,
yeah.
I'd have been like on my phone, being like, "Hello," you know. But anyway, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he's literally the coolest person ever to be able to just like bring ideas to life. I mean, he was talking about like the sauna, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then now we have this wellness room, and it's the best part of, besides being with Brooksy and you, it's the best part of my day to be in here. So this is super cool. So good
Well,
for
yeah.
you.
And that's our first episode.
Yeah,
There's going to be many, many more to come with a lot of other
that was
topics.
fun. I love
So
this.
stay tuned, everybody. Thank you all
Yeah.
for listening.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the podcast.
If you're interested in becoming a part of the Attained Athletics family, you can find us on Instagram and at our website, attainedathletics.com.
And stay tuned for more.